What's up? My name's Benny Obscene, and about a year ago I got into sim drifting, sim racing, and this whole wide wonderful world of digital motorsports. Now back then I wasn't really sure what to make of it. Was it going to be real enough? Was it going to be helpful for my real life driving? And just, what was this all about? Fast forward a year and the world has shut down. My real life racing has taken a different turn, but I still absolutely love sim racing and sim drifting. And what I wanted to do today is just give a tour of my new sim rig. So when I first got into sim racing, I basically had my Logitech set up that I would just clamp onto the desk and go from there. I already had a desk for work and also for my photo and video work as well, and it was just easy. Clamp it on when I want to drive and unclamp it when I don't. As I got more involved though in sim racing or sim drifting, it wasn't an ideal experience because I'd have to configure everything, set it all up. By the time I've got that all set up, maybe even my window of opportunity has gone away, and still sitting in a desk chair, it just wasn't the right ergonomics for me for the kind of realism or immersion that I was looking for. Whoa. Now that we're in the global pandemic, I'm home full time, and I've got my regular 9-to-5 day job desk.
We're going to need to go ahead and move you downstairs into storage B.
And then what I needed, or what I had the opportunity for, is since I had that set up and ready to rock, that left open this idea of a second desk that I could use for both sim racing and for the multimedia work that I do. Whether it's photo work or video work that I do on the side. So both of those I like to utilize triple monitors, and what I was looking for was something that number one, wasn't too big and too crazy. Again, I do share this space with the rest of my family, so it can't look too out of this world. And number two, it needed to be functional as both a workstation for that video work, that photo work, or whatever else I'm using the desk for, and at the same time be functional for driving. And that's where, many searches later, I arrived at this solution. It's an Obutto Ozone rig that I've customized a little bit to suit my needs as I'm working. The way that this rig works is it's got these connecting points on the sides, and that allows for this keyboard tray to swivel over. From here I get my keyboard, I got my mouse. It's pretty sturdy. I mean, it's not perfect, and I think there's probably more expensive options out there that allow for more adjustability than this. Right now I'm kind of limited as far as where I can place this, but it works out pretty well. I'm set up here comfortable in the seat, and I can work. When work's finished and it's time to go driving, just as easily, what I did was I've modified my Logitech base here. First of all, a long time ago I modified it to accept an aftermarket steering wheel. What I've added recently is this very thin, quick release, so it's not affecting the placement of my wheel too much, but just as easily, that slides on, clip that there, and now I've got my wheel securely mounted and I'm ready to drive. And then same thing on the other side. I've got this arm here, which houses my shifter and my homemade handbrake here. I'll post a link up if you want to make one of these. I've got two versions, the cheap and easy clickable version, on, off. And then the also cheap and easy analog version. As you pull it, as you slide it down, that number drops. But that's a different video. This one, as soon as I'm ready, slide that over, tighten down this clamp, and now I've got my shifter ready to rock. If I'm racing something that uses flappy paddles, need this, all I gotta do, unscrew that clamp, slide it out of the way, and it's like it's not even there. And should you need it, the whole thing even comes with a cup holder. A couple quick things to note though about this setup. This block of wood here, I cut that myself, screwed it into the whole rig itself. It just matches my other desk and it gives me a little bit more surface area to put stuff like memory cards or camera batteries or external hard drives for when I'm working. Just know, like, with this rig, it comes straight from China. Your mileage may vary. Mine came in one giant box. It was like a 100-pound box. And when I opened the box, it was like a giant whiff of like pure Beijing cigarette smoke. So depending on how much that impacts you, just be aware of that. The welds on the rig itself, not that great, to be honest. It's probably on par with my welds, and if you've watched any of the other videos, you know how bad those are. They're good enough for this, but you know, certainly not good enough for if you're like looking for some professional quality, or God forbid they were building anything for your race car in real life. Not even close. But it's good enough for this. You know, if I crash here, I'm not exactly worried too much about the structural integrity of the bars being welded together here. The triple monitor stand that holds the monitors, it works okay. You'll see my monitors are not perfectly level or set up on the right angles. That's more of a design limitation of my particular 3 monitors. The way that they mount up to the VESA mounts isn't really that good and doesn't allow a lot of adjustability. I think if I had like proper mountable monitors, that problem would resolve itself, but this is what I've got, so I make it work. And other than that, I don't really have any complaints. It's solid. Everything is about as rigid and high quality as I need it to be. So other than that, we just need to drive. While this is loading, I'm curious to know, for anybody that is watching, post in the comments what kind of sim racing content are you interested in watching. I thought about doing a series of just me being pretty new to sim racing, pretty new to iRacing. What's the journey of somebody who isn't very good, trying to get into iRacing, get comfortable with the setup. Obviously, I mean, there's 1.5 million pros out there using iRacing. It's a fantastic platform for learning. What's it like when the average Joe Schmo gets in there with, you know, kind of entry-level equipment as well? Get into the rookie class, learn the Miata, learn the racing, progress through rookie class. Is that interesting to watch? I think it would be, because I would certainly enjoy watching somebody else go through it as well.
One eternity later.
In the server, ready to go. I'm going to pop my gloves on. I only just started recently wearing these. I've got some endurance racing coming up, and it's a safety requirement to wear these gloves. When I was drifting before, I never actually wore them for a couple different reasons, but now that I'm going to be required to wear them, I just kind of like getting the feel of driving with the gloves, getting used to it. So that's why you'll see me pop these on, and they're orange too, so it just kind of fits. So here we are. We're in iRacing, in the Mazda, the MX-5, the rookie class. We're at Tsukuba Circuit, which I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of. The thing I like a lot about this circuit, and I haven't really driven it a ton in iRacing, but where I have driven it a ton is 13-year-old me in Gran Turismo 2 probably has 1.5 million laps on this circuit itself. In whatever version Skyline I had or could afford at that time. But here we are. All right, so I've got steering wheel set up, pedals are set up, shifter is ready to go. Other than that, let's get some practice laps and see how we're feeling here. Check the mirrors there. Tires are probably cold as ice, so I definitely don't want to go out too aggressively here on these opening laps. But I think that is probably one nice thing about this circuit as well, is it's super forgiving. I'm just going to try and get some heat into these tires before actually getting after it. Like this turn, typically I can go flat out and then just try and set up nicely for that last kind of tricky turn here, down into second, in, around, onto the throttle as early as possible, and then just down the back for this late sweeper here. Still not sure if this is a third gear or a second gear turn, because I really just want to carry as much momentum as I can through that to open it up over this start-finish straight. The other thing that pisses me off about iRacing is I always miss shift on my downshifts. I'm not really sure what's going on there, or what do we got going on here? Did I break it?
Looks like your car is towed. You'll need a tow back to kick main. Press and hold the reset button and we'll come and get you.
Alright. So that's what I get for talking and driving at the same time. No big surprise. I've totaled my Miata immediately. And that seems to be how this is going to go. So thanks so much for watching. You can see how great I am. This fancy rig makes no difference at all in my driving abilities. I still have somehow totaled my Miata again. But that's going to be that. Thank you for watching. I'll put some details on the setup, the equipment here, if you want to replicate it for your sim racing setup. Again, let me know in the comments what kind of sim racing content is helpful, entertaining, whatever you want to watch, let me know. I'm trying to do a lot more of this, trying to get better, trying to stop breaking the dang car, and just progress as well. So you'll see a little bit more of this sim racing content. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, hit like, let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time. Alright, let me call a tow truck here.